Hello everyone, how are you? I'm Tariq Mahmoud here for today's session. Welcome to our session of CodersTrust. Hopefully you are doing great at your end. The today's topic is about the form elements of HTML and the validation with the HTML5, some features of HTML5 we will use to validate our form. So hopefully you will stay till end. And if you have any problem with streaming and our voice, please just comment here in the section of this YouTube session. If you are logged in with your Gmail account, you can easily comment here. And before starting my session, I just want to show something about the settings. Just click on the settings icon and then go to the quality option, and you will see there are some option. Just you have to select 360 or 480 to get the better streaming. Otherwise, actually, you will not see my screen properly, and you cannot understand my code actually. If your screen resolution is set to 240 or 144, so just ensure that your option is selected to 360 above or 480 or whatever is 720. No problem. Uh, let's start my session shortly. Just checking if you have any comment. Hopefully no comment so far. So let's start. Whoever will join later, don't worry. You can see the whole session on the recorded version. Just after finishing my session, the whole session will be recorded, and you can play it in the same URL. So I just created a HTML file and a CSS file, my.css and index.html, and I have included my .css into my HTML file. Now I will make some form element. For begin it, just start with the form tag and just ending. By the way, I'm using the brackets, the code editor. Whatever you use, just you are comfortable with that editor, no problem. Uh, Brackets is comfortable for me, so NetBeans can be comfortable for you, or Dreamweaver, whatever, no problem. So I'm just using the form tag to start the form elements, and within the form tag there are some attributes. So just I'm just discussing about the main attributes. First one is action. So action is mainly used to the direct, that means the submission or location of the form. That means whenever a user complete the form and submit button, click on the submit button and it will go to the an URL. So it can be the same URL, or it can be the other URL, or it can be the external URL. Uh, if you are using the PHP as a backend, or whatever other language like Python or Ruby on Rails, whatever. So just you have to put this URL, the URL of the file name to this form will be submitted. So for now, actually, we don't need anything because we are not doing any functional work. So we are just concentrating on the layout. So I just want to discuss about the purpose of the action attribute. Later another one is method. There are two methods. One is get, other is post. Using the get method, whenever you submit the form, the value of the form elements will be go through the URL. That means the URL like that. For example, I'm just writing here. If it is .index.php, and if you have some value like name, so it will go there like name equal John and email equal blah blah. So in this way, that means this will actually go to the URL, the value, the name of the input type or input name. But whenever we use the post, the method post, actually it will not go to the URL, so it will directly hidden to the form value, and it will submit it to the URL without showing any value in the URL. So this is the difference. So we can use the post. And another thing is important, which is encryption tag, an ENC tag, we can say it short. The first one is by default, that means application one. If you don't use anything for encryption tag, that means the default one is selected. But if you have something like image upload or document upload or file submit option in a form, in that case you have to select the second option, that means the multi-part form data. So you have to keep in mind, otherwise actually you will not get the data of the file or image at the end, and you might be confused actually what's the wrong. So you have to ensure that whenever you have some document or image upload functionality in the form, you have to select this one, the multi-part or form data. And the text plain actually used for the like plain email or text like that. Well, we don't need that actually. Well, let's start with now the input tag. So input, this is the input tag, and there's type. Well, there first we are starting with the text. Text means is the plain text, the with the single line. For example, we can use name. So there's a text, and we can use some placeholder. So what is placeholder? Well, placeholder is just placing something for suggesting the user. That means what to input actually in this input box. We can use the actually level also, but some UI the level is not actually used. In that case, placeholder can be used. It is useful because it knows just a list space. Okay, I'm just checking any comment here. Well, no comment. Hopefully, you're watching without any problem. So, okay, what I'm doing that, yeah. When it is the text and we are placing like that your name, so let's see how it shows in our browser. Okay, you can see this on the placeholder, that means your name. Though this is not actually something that when you will start typing, then this one placeholder goes off and just without anything, and this is a suggestion your name. So you can use actually the level like that, level name. So it will be shown as level. Just you can say this is the name and your name. So we don't need actually both to use. So actually it depends upon your UI how it will be showed in the user end. So you can use the level or placeholder, whatever you need. And is the text, that means a single line input like the name, full name, for type of input, or you use this type text. Another one is input type checkbox. Well, checkbox basically used for checking something or choosing some options from a list of options like that. Okay, let me check. Checkbox like option 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You can see there are a lot of options. Just you can use or select everything or just some of them or nothing. So this actually we have to select some options like input that from a list of options. So we can use the checkbox. Another one is this is called video, and for video just we have to like male and female, but for this radio actually it should be one only, not the more than one. You can just give me some spacing so that it shows better in our browser. Okay, so this is the name or this is the option, this is the male or female, but you can see that I can select both of them because they are not binded each other. That means we have to bind that they are actually same input. So we have to give some name attribute here, name, like it can be gender. So we have to group up this to the single. Well, now let's see, yeah, male or female. That means you can select just one, not two, because they are now the same input with the name, gender. So just bind to those in the single. So you can bind like another two. Okay, just like showing example. For example, we have some age, just we have 25 and below 25. Yeah, so now you can just select either 25 above or below 25 above, or male or female, because that means these two are bind by the gender and these two by bind by the age. Sorry, not age. Yeah, age. So these are the same. So you can select just one out of two, and you can select this also out of two. That means those are related and those are other. So in that case, actually, we can create many options like radio. Uh, Now there's another one which is called select. So select actually more like that option, but it's a little bit different from other because other are just input tag. But for this one, just we have something like just it can be country. Okay, like give some few countries. Okay, so just giving some break so that it shows in the new line. Okay, you can see that just you can select any of the country. So there is a drop down, we can say that. So it is just simple as select tag, and within the selected there are some options for country, and this value actually will be used in the database saving. So we can just change it here. Now there are another one for input type. It's called submit. That means uh, whenever we fill up our form, we want to submit like register button or whatever. So we can see the value like register. Okay. So this is the now button. If submit, the form is actually submitted. Though this is because we have don't any action, so actually it is just going to the same file here. So whenever submit, just it is like that, refreshing something. Okay, then we have another input for text area, which for example, we want to write some status in Facebook or just comment in any blog. So we should write something in multi-line, not a single line. So we have such input. We can say that text area. So text area like, yeah, this is just text area where you can use a multiple line input, and also you can control the text area column and rows. So like rows, for example, we can say that 20 and rows 30. That means it will be 30 line and 20 column. So there's the, that means you can write, you can also increase this one, just dragging like, but whenever you give the size, actually it is by default it will be like that. So you can get that 10 and you can give it 50. So it will be very width. And this is the register button. Finally, there are another button which is can, it's it as reset. Reset, and we can give some value like clear. That means when you give some, like, okay, just show me example. I just giving something and game, but I think that I have done something wrong here. I need to reset the form so that everything is clear. So you can just clear it. That means it is just resetting. Okay. Well, so this is our actually all type of input we can use in our work, and there are some interesting validation option for HTML5 features. Now I will show you how to use that. Okay, let me check the comment if you have any comment here. Okay, no comment so far, so hopefully you are watching it properly. So okay, so we want to validate that user cannot give any blank value for this name. So you have to most do something. So we can just make it like Richard, which is called, yeah, Richard. That means this one is Richard or something like, okay. Now try to resist submit, but it is not actually submitted, just showing an error that please fill out this field. That means this input must be filled. It cannot be blank actually. So whenever just giving, the error goes off. So this is the type. There's another thing like email. That means we want a user will input the valid email format. For example, just let me clear. Okay. Yes, sorry, it is going back to an email, your email. So just something, okay. There is error. The name cannot be blank, and there is email. But email, yes, I just write something, but try it. Yes, please enter an email address, because it is not an email address actually. So we know that email address format is like that. Yeah, .com. Yes, now there is no error. Just it is submitted. So those are the actually a validation HTML5. So you can use a record, you can use a type email to make it the email, and you can use the record. Well, I missed something. This called the number. There is an input type which is number. Okay. So you can see that number is like that. And you can also increase or decrease the number using this arrow, ups and down. So it can actually use for the just number. Well, now I make it more good some CSS to make it more properly. So just I'm giving a class in our form like my form. So just we'll make a simple registration form. In the form I just give some width like 100 pixel, margin 0 auto, just keep it in the center and the background color. The height, just the height like 500 pixel. Okay. And for the input, I'm just giving some tasks for the input. So for now, I just give the directly my phone input can give the width 90%, margin left 5%. Okay, now it is better. But I'm just make the option remove from here now because we don't need any option in the our registration form. So just give the gender. Okay. Well, I'm just giving some class actually because there is a problem with this method. So just keeping a div like class input row, and each input row I'm just keeping those value, and the now breadline will not be needed. I'm just refactoring my code. Okay, so those can be available like n, and the email will be the same deep. Okay, so both are the same. I'm just giving a label for the country, so like that country, and then just clicking the same orientation, and we don't need any number now, and it can be register button. For register I'm just giving some tasks like submit VPN, and then just declare. Okay, so now I just make the CSS for the input row, input row class within the 100%, and no margin left needed. And the row will be, and the level will give some value for the level. So level I'm just giving mean width, that means it will be minimum like 20% of the total. So okay, for the total we need also fold, fold left. Okay, and I can give some margin, fold left and margin, top and bottom like 10 pixel and 0 pixel. Okay, now much better. We can also use the label for male or female. So yeah, you can get here. So it is gender. Okay. So name, email, gender, country. Well, you can use any other input. So whatever. So I'm just making a basic layout, and I'm just giving some style for the register button. That means the submit button. For submit button, I just making some CSS like height 30 pixel, background color green, color is white, and width will be like 100 pixel, and the text in center. Okay, let's see how now. Yeah, this is a register button and the clear. For clear, we can make some different color. So just I'm giving a class clear BTN, and I give the background color like C. The color code, so clear button. I'm just giving this class here. Yes, and also give the color like it is the darker color. This is the register and clear. So now this is the form, and you can use the title also here. So this all about the register form. So you can make it more better using more other field like the about, using the text area, and okay, I'm just using the text area. So just taking it, and it's like about me. So this is the text area. Okay, so you can just like about me. Well, so this is the about form, and we can use the validation like it cannot be blanked, it must be email, so on. So you can just use HTML5 feature, but for earlier, we need to use the jQuery plugin whenever the HTML5 feature didn't come to this feature of the validation. Well, this about our today's session. If you have any question, you can just ask here in the comment section. I will end our session very soon. And meanwhile, I just want to show about something CodersTrust. What is actually CodersTrust doing? The vision of the CodersTrust is actually developing the skill for learn and earn path. There is a 5-month learn and earn path. Developing the skills that is highly demanded in the global marketplace, and the student after completing the course he can actually earn money from the global marketplace using the technique, the soft skill. There's a curator will provide how to read, how to write the good proposal, and how to deal with the client. So everything, you'll get the support from the CodersTrust expert team. So it is not only a learning path, it is also the earning path. And you can see the success stories of the CodersTrust and the students who are working now in the marketplace after completing the course. The success rate is very high, and there is some course module in the for offline and online. You can get from home also. Also, you can get from the campus. So there are a lot of options. So you can just call in the support to get more about the code trust, like payment, the duration of the course, and the flexibility, everything. So hopefully you'll enjoy the journey to code trust. Well, I'll end my session for today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next session. So, till then, take care. Bye. Good night.